What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the first ever inaugural edition of the Doghouse. And my guest tonight in the Doghouse is none other than One Giant Rebuttal. He is a great New York Giants fan out there. He's also a Red Sox fan. I forgive him for that. That's okay. We welcome everybody into the Doghouse with the old bad dog. All right, Noah Cahill's MH, Diago, John Abrams, Chris Senior, my man Mustard Bus, Afghanistan, Dominic, Jaden. What's going on? Taylor is in the house. Thank you all for joining us. One Giant Rebuttal, like I said, a big Giants fan, a guy that I really love his content out there. We just want to work with him tonight. We're going to get to know him a little bit better. We'll talk about the Giants. We'll talk about the Red Sox. And anybody that is not subscribed to One Giant Rebuttal, please go into the description of this video, click on the link to his channel, and sub this man up. He has a nice, unique. Why don't you tell us about how you came up with the name and why you got involved in YouTube, and tell us about your channel.
Sure. So there's two YouTubers that I kind of followed. I found it was Vegas and Big Blue and Bias. We all remember Big Blue and Bias. So I'm sitting there on my phone one day before work, and I'm watching this Vegas video, and then I watch Big Blue and Bias, and they're trashing Eli as they normally do. And I'm like, I can do this. So I had a Best Buy gift card. I was getting a new laptop anyway. I said, let me go get a mic. Let me go to get a camera. And I was throwing around stuff at guys at work. I'm like, what should I name my channel? I know I want to be something named with the Giants. They go, you know what? You really are good at rebuttaling people. So I said, you know what? That makes sense. One Giant Rebuttal. Let's do it.
Yeah, nice. So what made you want to start YouTube? It was just Vegas. You wanted to rebut them, their Eli Manning bashing, or
yeah, pretty much it. I mean, and then as it goes on, you can't rebuttal everybody, and you can't come up with a rebuttal video every day. It's actually a lot tougher than people think. It's just you're constantly back and forth, and you're like, well, I can't find somebody to rebuttal every day, so you have to expand your content. So that's why I started doing more Giants videos, hot topics around the Giants and whatnot.
Right. Now you are a Giants and a Red Sox fan, correct? You live in Massachusetts, right? Connecticut. Okay, I'm sorry. You live in Connecticut. What am I thinking about? You're going. By the way, something really cool. Just real quick. I saw the sports reaction here. One Giant Rebuttal and the sports reaction tomorrow will be together on the sports reactions couch, calling the Red Sox and Yankees game from London. I think that is really, really cool that a couple of YouTubers are going to get together and do it live together in the same room without trying to kill each other. Yankees and Red Sox fan. So how did you become a Giants fan? How did you become a Red Sox fan?
Oh, I live in Central Connecticut. We get both. But my dad was a real passionate fan growing up. And, I'm going to follow in his footsteps. I have Giants banners in my room. I had a Lawrence Taylor, trying to think of the word here, electrical heat cover, the thermostat cover.
Nice.
So that's why. And then obviously the Red Sox. I know it's not your favorite team, but
no, definitely not. Definitely not.
But yeah, I fell in love with the Red Sox as well.
That's cool. When did you start following these teams? How old are you? What
Giants early on. I have my most memorable game is the '93. We lost the game, unfortunately, because Emmitt Smith went off.
Oh, God. You're talking about the last game of the season?
The last game of the season, 1993, yep.
That was a great game, but yeah. So that was the game right there. I was like, I hate Emmitt Smith, but I'm like, I got to respect him for that performance because that was pretty damn amazing. He played half that game with a separated shoulder, and he killed us. So that was definitely, I had to give him respect. I hate his guts, but
even after that, I actually hated him more after that point because I'm a young kid and I'm like, I know he's faking this injury. He doesn't have a separated shoulder.
Yeah, I think I was saying the same thing. I'm like, they're overblown. There's no way the guy's playing with a separated shoulder and he's playing that good against us. It was ridiculous. So anyway,
real quick, talking about separated shoulder games, I mean, Lawrence Taylor, Saints.
Yeah. Oh God, 88. Yeah, that was nuts. Lawrence Taylor was something special. I mean, I don't know how old you are, but me being in my 40s, I obviously saw a lot of Lawrence Taylor from 1984 to 1983. I never saw a better player in my life. on defense than that guy. He was, I mean, otherworldly. Just a special talent. I don't know if we'll ever see a dominant linebacker like that again in our lifetime. He was ridiculous.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
So speaking of the Giants, I want to get your thoughts. I mean, everybody knows my thoughts on the draft. And everybody saw how I reacted to Daniel Jones. And obviously, if you've watched my videos lately, you can see that I've done a complete 180 on how I feel about him, to the point that I think he'll be better than Dwayne Haskins, or he could be. I shouldn't say I think he will be, because who the hell knows, but I think that he definitely could be. Whereas if you would have told me this 2 months ago, I would have said you're full of it. There's no way Daniel Jones is a better quarterback than Dwayne Haskins. It's not going to be close, but like I said, as I watched the film, I believe that he could be better. I mean, what are your thoughts on Daniel Jones? What was your reaction when they drafted him, and how do you feel about Daniel Jones as our quarterback going forward?
Just like you, the night of the draft, when Daniel Jones was drafted, I went ballistic, just like you. And I said, you know what, the next couple days, I was listening to Kid Blue, I was listening to J-Zack in the Red Zone, ended up going on their channel later, but we ended up talking about it, and I was like, you know what, let me go look at the film, let me see what they see. And sure enough, like you pointed out in your video, the 38 drops, the fact that he was the best player on Duke, no doubt about it. Mm-hmm. And there's one throw, it's in the Clemson game. It's like the first 2 or 3 minutes into the game. And he's got a wide receiver that's wide open. Bombs the ball down the field, hits the Duke perfectly in the hands. Duke drops it. They would have been set up to have the first points of that game.
Yeah.
And drop after drop after drop.
Yeah.
And I said, you know what? Daniel Jones is a lot better than what people give him credit for.
Yeah.
And if you look at Dwayne Haskins' number under pressure, they're the same as Sam Bradford when he was at Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, almost mirrors. And it was just, he wasn't very good under pressure. You know that as well.
Right.
So I'm saying to myself, if you look at somebody who's been under pressure, had to play under pressure his entire career, versus somebody who's got to sit in the pocket and be cozy, I'll take Daniel Jones all day.
Yeah,
I agree with their statement.
I think that he's, like I said, I obviously didn't watch Duke, and I didn't pay any attention to it because I thought that was all BS. I thought they were just bullshitting about we're going to take Daniel Jones. Those rumors, I thought that was crap. I said there's no way they want Dwayne Haskins, so they're trying to throw people off just so that people don't take him, because it was talking about the Raiders taking him, it was talking about the Skins trading up to get Dwayne Haskins. So I said there's no way, and I just kind of brushed it off. And then when Josh Allen was there, obviously I lost my mind. And then it took me 3 days, and I said, you know what, let me go back and look at exactly what's going on, because I heard about, a lot of things I didn't really understand. And again, I don't watch Duke, so I was like, I have to go back and look. And I'm like, you know what, this guy may not be worth the 6th overall pick, but he's a lot better than I gave him credit for. There's a lot of talent there. And, much like Eli Manning, he doesn't have to be the most talented quarterback in the league, but you build around him. This kid is going to make good decisions with the football. As long as he doesn't turn it over and he can make plays with his feet, with his arm, and extend the plays and move the chains, you're going to have a very good quarterback, So I was a lot more excited about the pick once I actually took a look at him. I see the Entertainer Talking Sports is in here. David from Colorado, MH. Rudy T is in the house. Cushman is here. Nitro Freak, who actually made a video about that last night. Didn't watch the whole video. Just saw the title and decided to go off on me because I said I think Daniel Jones will be better than Dwayne Haskins. But, hey, he's an Eagles fan. So
can I point something real quick out to Nitro Freak?
Yeah.
In that game against Wake Forest, Nitro, where they lost 59-7, do you know how many fumbles Duke gave away, and none of them were Daniel Jones' fault? It was all wide receivers and running backs. The answer is they fumbled 4 times, lost 3. How many games are you going to win if you lose 3 fumbles? There's only 1 interception by Daniel Jones.
Yeah, it's tough.
You're just going to get blown out in a game like that.
Yeah, you can't win if you lose the turnover battle. Mr. Hand Glider Man is in the house. Cowboys Nation 214. Art Makepeace is here. UCF Jaguar is in the house. What is going on? Again, guys, if you have not done so, please go into the description. Link to One Giant Rebuttal's channel is there. Please click on it. Sub him up. Great content over there. And I really appreciate everybody being here for the Doghouse. Thank you much. Much appreciated. What did you think about the rest of the draft? And who was your favorite player that we picked?
My favorite player that we picked was, right now, I would have said the day of the draft, DeAndre Baker. But as time's gone on, I've actually become fond of Darius Slayton, believe it or not.
Yeah.
And O'Shane Ximenez. Those two I'm pretty much tied with.
Yeah, Slayton has been unbelievable in OTAs. I mean, he started off, he had a couple rough days. He was getting reamed out by the coach. He was running the wrong patterns, and he looked lost. And you know what? It's a testament to his mental toughness to take that and not get down on himself and to say, all right, I got to work harder, and then just blow it up to the point where they're talking about this kid could break the starting lineup or, be the fourth receiver on this team. He might beat out Cody Latimer. So Slayton has been really awesome. That's a great pick, and he's a guy with 4.39 speed, and I liked him in Auburn. So definitely, he's a really he's a big-time prospect. I mean, he's got a lot of potential. We'll see what that means, but it's good to see that, he could have been a sleeper in the late 5th round.
So before I came on tonight, I was on a stag. And we were talking, and he's like, the guy goes to me, he's a Cowboys fan, and he goes, well, do you guys really have anybody who can take a top off of defense besides Evan Ingram? And I was like, yeah, Darius Slayton. He's like, who's that? Same explanation.
Right. Yeah. Well, Corey Coleman is also a guy that can take the top of the defense. He's another sub 4.4 guy that was amazing at Baylor. And it's funny, a couple years ago when we drafted Eli Apple, I had a very similar rant to the one I did with Daniel Jones. Now, this was after the fact, and I was ticked. And I say right in the video that the Giants needed a wide receiver. And I say we could have added Laquan Treadwell, who sucks. I'm glad we didn't take him. But I do go on to mention Corey Coleman in that. So I actually found it kind of ironic that we ended up with him a couple years later. And I really don't understand why he hasn't caught on with the team. I mean, he's got a lot of talent. So I think Corey Coleman could be a big piece to the offense as well. Let me ask you this. What do you think our best season move was? You could talk about someone we signed. You could talk about a trade. You could talk about somebody we released, Landon Collins. You don't know what my favorite move was. But, what do you think? What was your favorite move of the offseason so far?
My favorite move of the offseason so far is probably either Mike Remmers or Kevin Zeitler. But, they're tied in my book. Zeitler, obviously the better prospect as far as a guard, and you're going to solidify that right side. So I like that there. And then an underrated move, just because coming off an injury, worked in the veteran system, and that's Marcus Golden. So.
Yeah, Marcus Golden should be good. We have a very young front seven, and Marcus Golden's been in the veteran system, like you said, so it's definitely going to help that we have a veteran there that knows a system that could help these young guys get acclimated to the veteran system. I expect, I'm not going to say that. I will ask you. I did a video of the 3 guys that I think could take that next step and have breakout seasons. My picks were Ingram, Sterling Shepard, and Lorenzo Carter. Give me 3 guys that you think will take that next step and will be really impactful for the Giants in 2019.
So the easy picks to me are Sterling Shepard and Evan Ingram. I'm not saying they won't have breakout seasons. I absolutely think they will. Mm-hmm. But I like to go a little bit underrated. The only guy I'm going to totally agree on is Lorenzo Carter. I'm really high on O'Shane Ximenez. Hugely high on O'Shane. I really think they've, talked about him in camp. They said he's looked very good. And yes, we have to wait and see if he puts the pads on. But yeah, O'Shane, and I actually think Darius Slayton. I think he is going to crack the roster and possibly move up to, well, probably number 3, not 2. 2.
Right. What do you think is the worst thing we did this offseason?
Worst thing we did this offseason? Probably Daniel Jones in the first round. I like Daniel. Don't get me wrong.
I know what you're saying. Go ahead.
But Daniel Jones in the first round was obviously not a good pick. So.
Yeah, it's a bit of a reach. Like I said, I've come around on not being so just about it, but at the same time, it's 6. It's like, Josh Allen was there. I'm going to sit there and always question, especially if Josh Allen kills it. I don't ever root against, I do. I root against our rivals. But, somebody on the Jaguars, I'm not going to root against him. But I am really just hoping that Josh Allen stinks. I don't want to even have to have that cross my mind that this guy plays like Khalil Mack and we let him go. We let him slip through our fingers. So I just hope that he sucks. I hope he sucks more than Dwayne Haskins sucks. Let's put it that way. Because I was never a big Haskins guy anyway. I wanted the edge rusher, Let me ask you this, because I don't know. I mean, a lot of people have heard my opinion on the quarterback that I want. Everybody knows I wanted Kyler Murray. Not that we had a chance to get him. But if you could have went back and gotten any quarterback out of this draft class, which one would you have picked?
Oh, this one's easy. Kyler Murray, hands down.
Kyler Murray.
And I'm not saying because you're an Oklahoma fan. No, he just all the attributes around him. He reminds me a lot of Russell Wilson. I mean, what else to compare him to? So, absolutely, Kyler Murray.
Yeah,
easy.
He was freaking awesome. UCF Jaguar says I'm a Jags hater. I don't hate the Jags. Not at all. Not at all. Carlos Rodriguez is in the house. Papa Chulo Chad. Sarah Small is here. Bob Bobertson is in the house. My man Tim Mathis is going on. Again, thank you guys all for joining. If you haven't done so, please go into my description. Click on the link to One Giant Rebuttal's channel. Sub this man up and check out his content. You will not be disappointed. I'm going to move on from the Giants now. We're going to go to baseball. I mean, we can agree all day on the Giants. This is something we're not going to agree on. So you are a Boston Red Sox fan, right? You are a Boston Red Sox fan. So let me ask you this. You're coming off a big-time season last year. They won 108 games. They were phenomenal last year. I mean, they ran through the playoffs. They ran through the regular season. And they pretty much led, wire to wire. And they had a fantastic season. Now, they pretty much brought back the same roster this year, but obviously not the same team. What has been the biggest difference? I mean, what do you think is the biggest difference between this year and last year?
Okay, this year and last year, you remember the Red Sox. I mean, obviously with runners in scoring positions, I don't have the stats right in front of me right now, but I can tell you right now, with runners in scoring position, the Red Sox just haven't been the same team. Also, on top of that, we have Mookie Betts, who's, 40 points below his average right now?
Mm-hmm. I love Mookie Betts, by the way. My favorite Red Sox player right there.
And then, on top of that, they just don't look like they're having fun. Like last year, you'd see the guys, runner in score position, get that double, rounding, getting ready to hit second base. They do that little hip twist or whatever. They were having fun, and no moment was too big or small. And I think a lot of that just went to the wayside. They went a little too long in celebrating in my mind, and it's laziness. And now they have to try and get back in the swing of things.
Yeah.
And if they don't, the Red Sox might be looking to sell off in July. Yeah. Depends what's going on with this Yankee series. Even this 2 games does mean something. I'm hoping for a split as a Red Sox fan. Obviously, I want the sweep, but split is what I'm really hoping for right now.
Right. Yeah, that's a big thing. That's what killed us in the postseason last year. You guys had 400 again. When we played in the ALDS, you guys had 400 runners in scoring position. We were 5 for 28. You look at the 2 teams this year. The Yankees are one of the best in the league at hitting with runners in scoring position. It's almost like the Red Sox and the Yankees switched spots because both teams have great offenses. But the Yankees left so many men on base and were hitting about 245 with runners in scoring position last year. They were near the bottom of the league, whereas this year they're near the top. Now, of course, DJ LeMahieu was a big part of that. DJ LeMahieu, who's hitting like 465, something crazy with runners in scoring position. And Gleyber Torres is hitting around 400. These guys seem to come through. They seem to get 2-out hits, big 2-out hits, because our starting pitching is not great, and I kind of acclimate that to what the Red Sox were last year. Outside of Chris Sale, David Price was shaky. Rick Porcello is not some guy that's going to shut you down, and their bullpen was kind of So, but they got big hits in big spots, and that's kind of what the Yankees.
Nathan Eovaldi was a big deal last year.
Well, we can't hit him. We can't.
He is definitely shaky, but
yeah, we can't touch him. He owns us. And he was part of our team before he had I don't remember if it was the elbow or the shoulder. Something kind of messed it up for whatever reason. But I mean, what do you expect the rest of the year? Do you think that, I don't even know what their record is. They're not too far out of the wild card. I can never see the Red Sox actually being sellers.
Right now, the Red Sox are 1 to 2 games out of the wild card. But let's say we have a bad week or two before the All-Star break or even after the All-Star break. They could easily become sellers just like that. I don't think they're going to become sellers either. But the Red Sox needs to at least keep pace with the Yankees. My attitude is, I'm not saying we're going to come back and win the division. But I will say this. You guys got a 9-game lead in a half a season almost. That could be evaporated. I'm not saying we will, because, like you said, I think the biggest weakness with the Yankees is their starting pitch. Mm-hmm. And obviously your bullpen's fire. But it's that consistency pitching going into the playoffs. Because my team, even if you asked me today, and I know you guys just got done beating up on them, the team that I would pick again to go is the Astros. That's my favorite right now.
Yeah,
Because I just know what their pitching is capable of. And they can obviously hit with anybody.
I don't know where Goose is right now, but the Astros have been struggling. Like, I have no idea. They got swept by the Reds. We beat them 3 out of 4. Then Pittsburgh walloped them 10-0 and 14-2. Like, I don't know what's going on with the Astros. They were my pick before the season started to go to the World Series and beat the Brewers in the World Series. Those are my 2 teams. So I don't know what's going on with Houston, but I agree. I still think if the Yankees have any competition, that the Astros are the team because of that starting pitching. And, of course, they've had a lot of injuries as well. So once they get healthy, they could definitely be dangerous. So let me ask you this question. Who is your favorite Giant of all time?
My favorite Giant of all time is Lawrence Taylor.
Has to be.
Even though I didn't get to watch him, I saw him at the tail end of his career, but I've gone back and I've watched every single documentary on Lawrence Taylor I can possibly watch. And my 2 favorite games is obviously the Thanksgiving game against Detroit. I think that is the Thanksgiving game.
82 when he picks it off and runs it 97 yards for a touchdown. Yeah.
Well, in the fact that he
played half
single-handedly won that game.
Yeah.
I honestly can say I've never seen another player in my lifetime literally win a game single-handedly in football.
Yeah, he was amazing. Duke Bother said his favorite Giant of all time is Daniel Jones. Well, thanks for being here, Duke. Much appreciated. Boomer Duke. That's one of my Sooners fans right there. Yeah, he's great. Favorite baseball player of all time.
But then right now, my current favorite player is obviously Saquon Barkley, but I am a Penn State fan. So
favorite baseball player of all time.
My favorite baseball player? Somehow I missed the question.
That's right.
My favorite baseball player of all time is David Ortiz.
Oh, I kind of figured that. Probably one of my most hated. Because you want to talk about a guy that just destroyed the Yankees and was incredibly clutch.
Actually, you know what? Let me correct that. Growing up, Ken Griffey Jr., and then before Ken Griffey was Wade Boggs. I have to name all 3 players. Sorry.
Griffey was phenomenal. And Boggs used to tick me off because the Reds, the Yankees in the 80s had great teams, never won the division. All they really had to root for was Mattingly to win the batting title, and Boggs always beat him out. So I hated Wade Boggs. And then, of course, he came over here in 93, and he helped us win a World Series in 96. So I was like, all right, Wade Boggs is all right. But you know what's funny? When Boggs and Mattingly were on the same team, I'm like, damn it, if we only had this in the middle 80s. Because Mattingly's back was pretty crappy by that time. Boggs was nearing the end of his career. So I was like, damn, if we would have only had this 5 years ago, man, how awesome would it be? Because Mattingly and Boggs are the best hitters in baseball in the American League.
Oh, absolutely.
Back in the 80s and early 90s. So, pretty amazing. Cruzon says the 86 Mets are the best team ever. I have a contention about that.
Absolutely.
Well, I asked Darryl Strawberry this question because I met him at a card show. I said to him, you played on both the 86 Mets and the 98 Yankees. Which team was better? Which team would have won in a 7-game series? And he said immediately, 98 Yankees. 98 Yankees would have destroyed the 86 Mets. That's Darryl Strawberry's words. So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
The 98 Yankees are one of the best teams I've ever seen, so I'm not going to sit there and say that and pretend they're not.
Yeah.
I mean, I was a Jeter fan. And actually, another guy, there's 2 people I loved on the Yankees. Bernie Williams, because how can you get mad at you? Just a class act, and Paul O'Neill. And Paul O'Neill used to kill us.
Yeah, I loved O'Neill. My wife, she was my girlfriend at the time when he was playing. I guess how long ago this was. I've been with my wife almost 20 years, so this is how long. We're talking, 2000. Pretty much. So Paul O'Neill would go into the dugout, punch the water cooler, or scream, break a. She'd go, "That's you." I said, "Yeah." Now you know why I love the guy, because that is me. I was that type of guy. I love the intensity. The guy always felt like he should get a hit. I feel like players should have that mentality. They obviously can't, but they should feel like they're going to get a hit every time that they come up there. So that's that's pretty cool. If you could have one player all time that wasn't a Red Sox, that would become a Red Sox, who would it be? Who would you want on the Red Sox?
All time? This one's tough. I would have to go pitcher. I'd probably say Randy Johnson in his prime.
Yeah, Randy Johnson was pretty awesome. We got him at the end of his career, but he was nasty. That's the best left-handed pitcher I ever saw.
I have a quick Randy Johnson story. I mean, being a Red Sox win, but I used to make my dad take me to Mary games growing up. because I wanted to see Ken Griffey.
Right.
So Chris Slocum trade. He was a former closer for the Red Sox. We traded him for Derek Lowe.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyways, Randy Johnson's killing us the entire game. The game's 1-1. One of my favorite players steps up to bat. They pull Randy Johnson. They bring in Heathcliff Slocum. The whole stands just lights up because we've seen this guy just give up.
Right.
Closing situation after closing situation. We're like, yeah! Comes in, Troy O'Leary hits a home run, game over, Red Sox win.
Troy O'Leary, there's a name I haven't heard in a long time. All right, here's a couple more questions for you. Your favorite Giants victory of all time?
Cowboys playoffs, 2003 or 2004. Sorry.
2004.
Sorry. My God, 2007.
2007.
We're talking about Red Sox.
I was going to say you got 2004 in them. I knew exactly why you went there. Thanks for going there on me. I appreciate that. Like I can never get over that series. Till the day I die, I'll never get over that series. What's the toughest Giants loss you've ever experienced?
Toughest Giants loss, Deshaun Jackson. Miracle in the Meadowlands too.
The 2010 one. Yeah, that sucked. That was pretty bad. Obviously 2004. There's going to be the answer to this question. What's your favorite Red Sox game of all time? Not the series. And I know you're going to go to 2004. So was it Game 4 or Game 5?
Game 4.
Game 4. The steal.
The steal.
Game 5 was the one that hurt me the most. The Game 4 didn't hurt me. Game 5 hurt because I felt like we should have won that one. But I say this all the time. Joe Torre, by the way, real quick, Black Dollar's in here, Papachulo Chad, Chuck Sharts is in the house, Diego's here, the Sports Critic is here, Philly Lights here, Kill Artist is here, Jack Vegetables is in the house. So guys, thank you for joining. If you haven't done so, please go into the description, click on One Giant Rebuttal's channel link, it's right there. Click on it, sub him up, and make sure you check out his content. And thank you for hanging out in the Doghouse tonight. I appreciate it. My man Bada Boom just showed up. What's going on, brother? Thank you for joining the stream. I appreciate it very much. Game 5 agitated me because Joe Torre said before the game, I'm not using Mariano Rivera for more than 3 outs. And then he brings in Tom Gordon in the 8th, gives up the homer to Ortiz. He walks Millar. Roberts comes in, pinch runs. They go a hit and run. Trot Nixon or Veritek, I don't remember. It was Trot Nixon. Lines a single A, first and third with nobody out in the 8th. Down 4-3. And Joe Torre brings in Mariano Rivera to get 6 outs. And he got all 6 outs. And I said, if you were going to use him to get 6 outs, start him in the 8th inning. And I always said if they started him in the 8th inning, the Yankees win that series. But Joe Torre got completely outmanaged by Terry Francona. And one thing that a lot of people don't talk about is the missing piece of that 2004 Yankees team was Don Zimmer. Because I always felt like Don Zimmer was the brains of the operation. Joe Torre was the front man. No Don Zimmer, Joe Torre never went to another World Series after Don Zimmer left. So I felt like Don Zimmer was a big piece of the Yankees' success, and when he wasn't there, you saw Terry Francona completely outmanage Joe Torre. So now I'll ask you the toughest Red Sox loss. I mean, I don't know if you weren't around for 86.
Year before.
Oh yeah.
Aaron Boone.
Yeah.
I have a quick story about that one. So after we lost, and I was pissed off, I printed out a picture of Babe Ruth's face, and I used it for target practice for my BB gun.
Why not Aaron Boone? The curse?
Yeah, just the curse. The curse. I was so tired of the curse. And then next year, it's obviously broken.
Yeah. That was, I tell you what, I see the sports series in the house. What is going on? Josh, what's up? Kyle Johnson, what's up? Jeremy, what's up, everybody? Again, if you have not done so, please go in the description, click on the link to this man's channel, One Giant Rebuttal, and sub him up. I'll say this, the 2003 and 2004 LCS, I don't think I ever hated Boston more than I did at that juncture. And I'm sure Boston fans hate the because that was a very heated rivalry between those two teams. Those two series took 10 years off my life, and I wouldn't change it for the world. Those are two of the greatest series I've ever seen in my life between two of the best teams in baseball in that era. It was really good baseball. I mean, it was good pitching. It was clutch hitting. You know, there was a brawl. There was a lot of stuff going on. Yeah. So it was. They were great series.
They were great series, and I want to get back to that. Believe it or not, like when I watch Yankees and Red Sox, like I'm looking forward to being with Sports Reaction tomorrow.
Yeah.
But it's just like I don't have the same fire, and maybe it's just because baseball is just not as popular. I used to be a bigger Red Sox fan than I am a Giants fan, but obviously those positions have switched. But for me, that's what it is.
Right.
And yes, Sports Fury, I am a Red Sox fan. I have a video up on my channel explaining why.
Yes, yeah. Red Sox. I told you, I invite anybody in the Doghouse. I'm going to have Eagles fans in this show. I'm going to have Cowboys fans in this show. It's okay. We're not perfect. Nobody can be perfect like me. Yankees, Knicks, Rangers. Somebody's got to like a wrong team. It's okay. Chris likes the Mets. I still love the guy. It's okay. The Mets stink. But he knows that. It's all good. I can't say nothing about the Red Sox thing, and they've been kicking our ass for freaking 10 years. So I can't say much about that anymore.
I actually got a quick question for you.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously you have different people you plan on bringing on here. There's one guy I particularly like to see. He's actually an Eagles fan. I find him incredibly entertaining, and that is E-Rock. I'd love to see you.
I would love to get E-Rock on the channel. That's actually a really good idea. I would love to talk to E-Rock, because I've known E-Rock on YouTube for a long time, and I troll him, and it's all in good fun. I mean, I can remember E-Rock made this one video. He said, I'll never forget this. He said he walked out of the stadium before the game was over, and he made a video. He said, "I've never walked out of this stadium embarrassed in my life." And I said to him, I go, "First Eagles game you ever been to, isn't it?" And that was, he's like, "Shut up, Baddog." I had to do it, but no, that'd be great. I would love to work with E-Rock. Like I said, I've known E-Rock a long time, and he's a great video maker. I mean, he's awesome. He does a really good job, and he's a really good Eagles fan. So that's actually a really good idea. I would love to have you. I would love to work with E-Rock. I haven't seen him on YouTube in a long time, so a little out of sight, out of mind. I know he's big on Twitter. But that's a really good idea. I mean, I do plan on having EDP on my channel during the first game of the Eagles and Giants. He's agreed to work with me. So given our history, I think that'll be extremely interesting. Well, any Eagles fan that I have on my channel would be extremely interesting, knowing my hatred for that team. And I do hate them without a doubt. So what I want to do now, this is the little rapid fire thing. I'm just going to ask you a few questions. Tell me the first thing that pops into your head. All right. Favorite breed of dog?
Favorite breed of dog, Bichon Frise.
Really?
It's actually a German Shepherd, but Bichon Frise is the first dog I had as a kid. Because my sister was allergic.
L.A. Lou says, "Don't forget your L.A. fan." I would never forget my L.A. fan base. I love my L.A. guys. I got a big L.A. following due to Lakers and Dodgers. I do love, because I actually love streaming at Los Angeles sports. I think it's fantastic. I asked you this before we started, but what's your favorite ice cream?
Favorite ice cream, chocolate chip cookie dough.
Chocolate chip cookie dough, very nice. Best friend's first name?
Best friend's first name, John.
John. Oh God, I had a bunch more, and I should wrote these down. I just did not have time to do it. What's your favorite color?
Favorite color, blue.
Blue. Favorite movie?
Favorite movie. This one's tough. Few Good Men.
It's a good choice. Favorite rock group of all time?
Between Metallica and Slipknot.
So you're a heavy metal guy.
Yeah.
Very nice. If you read it all, what's your favorite book?
God, what's his friggin' name? I picked up a book a couple years ago in the airport, and he has a show on friggin', I can't think of the guy's name right now, but I'm gonna have to actually pass on that.
Okay.
You haven't booked that.
Couple more easy ones. Favorite food?
Favorite food, probably. I will go spaghetti.
Spaghetti, nice. A little paisano right there. Favorite beer?
Favorite beer. Why can't I think of it at the top of my head right now? Guinness. There we go.
Guinness, nice. Alrighty, so that's the end of that rapid fire. Next time I do this, I'll have them written down. I got home late; I didn't get a chance to. I was like, I had a, but like when I was at my family's house, and I'm thinking about, I have a bunch of questions going through my head to ask, and then I get here and I don't have time to write them down, and I'm like, I just drew a blank. I just drew a complete another blank. So what I want to do now, guys, I want to take questions from the chat. I'm going to take 5 questions. Actually, I'm not going to take 5 questions. I want you to ask One Giant Rebuttal any question you want, but I'm going to let One Giant Rebuttal pick out the questions that he wants to answer. So this is something I'm going to do in every one of these episodes. Take questions from the chat, but I'm going to let the guest answer the questions he would like to answer. We'll take about 5 of them. So ask away, guys. You got a question for One Giant Rebuttal? Ask away, and I'll let him answer. I'll let him read it and answer the question.
All right, here's one. Well, that one's easy. Are you a Yankee fan? No. How he likes Mexican food. I do like Mexican food. It's very good. We have a couple good places around me. OGR, what's the least favorite sports team in all of sports? Or what's my least favorite sports teams? Tie between the Cowboys and Eagles.
No Yankees?
No. If the rivalry was there, I'm telling you I would, but I just don't feel it. Like, my hate for you is not that bad, and you guys are 9 games up.
I was surprised. I thought we were getting Yankees, but I'll tell you what, I'm right there with you. Boy, I hate the Cowboys. Eagles myself. I can't stand them.
All right, so will Lamar Jackson throw over 20 TDs this year? Hell no. He's terrible. Terrible.
He's terrible, as Charles Barkley would say.
What do I think about OBJ? You got to go check out my channel. I got about 10 videos. I can't stand the dude.
I think Giants fans have moved on. Well, I haven't. I got to make a video about it once a week, but I can't help myself.
When's MVP? No, because he's going to get injured. I mean, let's face it. Again, I've had a video on my channel. I just don't trust him to stay, there the whole entire year. The Wentz MVP is not going to happen.
Jesse, I'll just answer that real quick. I am doing the Sunday game. I'm doing the Yankees and Red Sox at 10 in the morning with Josie McFly. Tomorrow, like I said, if you guys have not done so, man, please go into the description of the video. Click on the link to One Giant Rebuttal's channel. Sub him up. One Giant Rebuttal and the Sports Reaction are going to collab tomorrow on the Sports Reactions page doing the Yankees, Red Sox in London in the same room. So they will actually be together where if, something goes wrong, they can fist fight one another. Maybe Butthead can kick One Giant Rebuttal in the head. Maybe One Giant Rebuttal can, throw Lego Batman or the Smirkenite across the room. You never know what you're going to see, but I think that's really awesome. So definitely check those guys out tomorrow. They're doing the game tomorrow.
Yeah. Wait, there was one of the people. Oh, somebody asked me who my favorite basketball team was, and that's easy. Boston Celtics.
Oh, yeah, I should have asked you that one. Take a few more, guys.
Freshman says, OGR, I'm going to a sleepaway camp and I'm nervous. Any advice? Just be yourself. If people don't like you for who you are, I mean, shame on them. I mean, you're a good dude. Just be yourself.
And don't watch the movie Sleepaway Camp before you go.
No, geez. OGR, are you dreading the Bears' revenge this season?
Tell them that they're going to lose.
Of course they're going to lose. Saquon ran all over you last year. He's going to run all over you this year. I mean, and what? Trubisky's not a good quarterback. I'm not impressed. I mean, let's face it. And your defense is not nearly as what it was. Adrian Amos, I believe, is a huge loss. I don't know if you guys replaced him or not, though. I can't remember.
That is a big loss for them.
Beartown. OGR, Dak or Wentz.
Yeah, it's Wentz. I think most outside observers of that whole battle between Wentz and Dak, I think most guys outside that were going to pick Wentz.
Oh, absolutely.
Because Wentz is better.
Somebody asked, it goes, Ezekiel or Barkley? Obviously, I'm the one answering the questions, but what do you think, Ezekiel or Barkley?
I'm going to go out on a limb and say that Saquon.
You would be correct in that one,
okay.
And even in college, I would say.
Nice.
They said, do you like horror films? You know what? I'm average on horror films. It depends. I'm more of a slasher guy, but I have not watched the new Halloween. I'm more of a slasher guy.
You and me both. But then again, I got a enormous collection of that stuff. Yeah, I got a
crazy.
Big collection of horror movies. Yeah.
You know what I heard the other day? That they consider Pumpkinhead, or at least it was voted, one of the most underrated horror films of all time.
It's true. It's underrated. You don't hear much about Pumpkinhead. It's actually pretty good. It's not great, but it's better than a lot of stuff that comes out, and it doesn't get as much recognition as a lot of things. Like, I can tell you that right now, Silent Night, Deadly Night gets a ton of recognition. I love it, but it's stupid. But Pumpkinhead's actually not a bad. It's unique, it's creative. It was something different. So the Don is in the house. What is going on? The Don. Only one Lombardi.
So this one woman kept asking me about the Colts. So I think what was her?
Yeah, Sarah Small. She's a Colts fan.
Yeah. So as far as Colts, I love the Colts. I love the move of Devin Funchess. I actually think he's going to be really helpful for you guys this year. But I think 11-5 for the Colts. I think 11-5 making the playoffs, going to win the South.
Sorry, I was reading Cushman's question. Maybe laugh a little bit.
It's her ass. Oh, Jesus.
You know the answer to that one, Cushman? Yes.
OGR, will Eli have a bounce-back year with our improved O-line? Honestly, that's probably the hardest question I've had to ask tonight, to be totally honest with you, because honestly, in my heart of hearts, I think no. I think Daniel Jones at some point is going to take over. I'm not saying the Giants aren't going to be competitive. I've already predicted their record between 6-10, 7-9, and I'm not saying Eli can't lead us to a 10-6 or 9-7 record because I feel they're going to be competitive. But I think Eli is going to be replaced at some point this season by Daniel Jones. I really do.
Yeah, probably. He probably will.
The biggest rivalry in football, I'd say Eagles-Cowboys. That's funny. Biggest rivalry in football. I'd actually go Giants and Cowboys. I think that's actually one of the most watched games every year.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken.
I'll tell you one of the ones that I think is pretty good is Steelers-Ravens. That's always been a big time. And one of the interesting twists and turns of the Steelers and Ravens this year is Antonio Brown, all the crap he had in Pittsburgh getting shipped out to Los Angeles, and his cousin Hollywood Brown playing for the Ravens. I think that is incredible. And I'll tell you what, there was one of the steals of the draft because Hollywood Brown is going to be something special in this league. Boomer! Had to do it.
Somebody brought it up, Packers and Bears, obviously one of the
the
oldest rivalries as well. Very good. Colts, Patriots, not so much anymore. Yeah.
Could get back to it, though. The Colts.
I hope it does. I love the Colts. I picked them last year to go to the Super Bowl once they made the playoffs. But
I couldn't do it. Every time I was on Uncle Lou's, I worked with Uncle Lou during the playoffs, and we discussed the NFL team. Every week I take the Patriots, and I said it all the time. And same thing when I would talk to Chris. I'm like, he picked against him every week. I'm like, I can't do it. I can't pick against the Patriots, ever. I just can't pick against them. And if I'm going to lose a bet, I'm going to lose because they lose. I'm not going to lose because I bet against them. I can't do it. I can't bet against them, ever. Brady and Belichick, I can't do it.
I don't blame you. I wouldn't blame you. I mean, I've learned my hard way as well. Somebody goes, Chuck Sharks goes, OGR, who wins Rookie of the Year? I mean, Baddog can answer this question.
Kyler Murray. Hey, my man DWG is in the house. What is going on? I always like to shout out DWG because DWG is the one responsible for the Baddog shirts. DWG is the reason that the New York City skyline is behind me. DWG is responsible for a lot of my channel upgrades. So always huge shout out to my man right there, good friend of mine. So always like to shout him out because his channel is going in a different direction and getting better because of him. He's helped me out a lot. So always like to shout him out.
I can tell. I mean, from where you were before, I can't get rid of this pesky friggin' noise on my friggin' Skype when I'm trying to bring people in. To now, you got the background and everything. You got the logo. I'm jealous.
Yeah, I put a logo up on your little thing. Your channel logo up there yourself. I mean, it's just a Giants thing, but
yeah.
But you know what it was with the static. Because I have a Mac. I had to use Loopback in order to bring the Skype into the OBS. And when I would try the Loopback audio, even though when I would test it, it never showed up, but then when I went to go live, it always showed up, which was strange. One day I just got rid of the audio and said, let me try to pick it up with my microphone, and bang, there it was. I'm like, well, God, that was a simple damn solution. I should have just done it all the time. So that's why I said once I was able to figure out exactly how to, because I wanted to do this for a long time, and Chris will tell you, I talked to him when we started the Giants show, that this is what I want to do. I wanted to collab with other video makers and just kind of have something where we got to know, where the viewers would get to know somebody, something a little different, how they got their channel, things that they like outside of sports and everything else. And I thought it'd be a lot of fun to work with other, content creators, because some people want to view YouTube as a competition, but I think that we all can help each other a lot. So that's what I want to do. And I think working with, great Giants fans like yourself and, guys in the Eagles fan base or the Cowboys fan, I think it'll be a lot of fun as well, because it just, you get to know a lot of people, and I think it's pretty cool.
I mean, I look forward to it. I mean, you're a channel, and it's great that you come back and everyone else, while also your channel as well. I mean, obviously, if you're working with the Eagles or a Dallas, are going to, your channel, because, you're not just knowledgeable about the Giants, but FC.
Yeah. I appreciate that, my man. Eagles 01 says, Baddog, bring Mike Mosh on the show. I'm not bringing Mosh on the show. My guests in the Doghouse, one of the requisites is that they must shower. And I know Mosh doesn't, so he will not be here. It is a doghouse, but if you could see by the thumbnail, it's a luxury doghouse. So you're not gonna have some guy with fleas coming into my doghouse. It's not gonna happen. We'll take a couple more questions, and I'll let OGR go. I don't want to hold him up too long tonight, so take a couple more questions, and we'll call it a night.
All right. So Afghanistan's been asking me what I think the 2 Super Bowl teams are going to be this year. I can't pick against the Patriots, even though I've given all this credit to the Colts, and I'm going to go to the Saints. I cannot pick against what's his face, Drew Brees, 3 years in a row. Like I feel they have at this point. They're my favorite.
Yeah.
I don't know about you. What do you think, Baddog?
For the Super Bowl?
Yeah. If right now
Patriots, I never pick against the Patriots. But I do like the Colts a lot. I think the Colts could give them a run for their money. I don't think the Browns are going to be experienced enough to make that run at the Patriots. So if I had to pick, I probably would go Patriots, and still like the Saints, man. It's hard to pick against the Saints.
It really is.
Hard to pick against the Saints. My man Ellie Lou says, have to find a way to get the West Coast. I'll get some West Coast guys on here. I'll find some West Coast guys. Because, again, I do a lot of... They call me Laker Dog. And I do a lot of Dodgers games. They call me Dodger Dog. I do a lot of LA stuff. So I'll have to find somebody from Los Angeles to be on here. Because you guys all know I cover a lot of Los Angeles sports. New York and Los Angeles, why not? They're the 2 biggest markets out there. Let's cover them both.
Hey, I'm going to troll Philly Light a little bit on this one. Who's going to win the NFC East if Winston's healthy? The Giants. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, I'll tell you, the Eagles and Cowboys fans have been going at it a lot here on YouTube, and we're enjoying
Oh, yeah.
And you know what's funny? They've always been the 2 loudest fan bases in the offseason since I got on YouTube. They've always been so boisterous about it, and the Eagles finally got one in 2017. I thought it would cure it. It's made it worse. But I guess if our teams are really good, we might have a little, something to say. But hard to say anything when your team is the Giants and you won 8 games in the last 2 years. So you just got to kind of sit back and watch a show at that juncture. Go ahead.
Just to answer Philly Light, if you really want to get my true insight, I've expanded my channel to more NFC East content. So if you really want to know, I've got videos. Just scroll in the description. You'll see my true. I rank each team, running back position, wide receiver position, 1 through 4 in the NFC East, like Shango did, probably about a month and a half back. And then I actually rebut him on that video. And then what else? And then I actually told you guys my thoughts on who's going to win the NFC East. And I don't think Carson Wentz is going to stay healthy. So right now, my pick's the Cowboys, even though I would be going against 2 things. Cowboys haven't gone to the playoffs 2 years in a row, even though they've gone 3 out of the past 5 years. And obviously, we haven't had a repeat winner in, 12, 13 years in the NFC East?
It's been a while. You mentioned Shango. There's a guy I would love to have on my channel. Because I've known Shango since 2008 on here. And there's another guy. And the thing is, I know I'm respected by certain video makers that are, bigger tier guys, because Shango doesn't really respond to a lot of people, but almost every time I make a comment, he responds to me. The same thing can be said for E-Rock. It's rare that he responds to every comment, but they go out of their way to respond to me. So, it's just a big time respect in between. And again, I've been around a long time. They know me very well. So Shango is definitely somebody I would love to work with, without a doubt. I think he would be a lot of fun. I think that would be a really good guest to have on here because, again, he's a big-time cowboy video maker. He used to stream games in 2008. And I remember people saying, who the hell would want to watch a guy watch a game? I remember people saying that. And I thought the same thing. I'm like, why would they do that? And here I am 10 years later saying, hey, here's the 2-1 pitch to DJ LeMahieu. It's crazy. But, I will let OGR take one more question, then we'll let him go. It's going on 11:30, so I don't want to keep him too long.
So this is actually a question that I want both of us to answer if we could. It's going to be long-winded, though. And somebody asked, who will win, which team in the NFL will win each division and why? So if you want to go first, if you would like to do that, I mean, it's up to you.
Sure. God, I got to remember all the freaking divisions now. So the NFC East, Dallas Cowboys. I think they're the most complete team in this division. I think they got one of the best running backs, one of the best lines. They got a quarterback that can make plays. He's not a great quarterback, but he doesn't make a ton of mistakes. And I think they have a really good defense. I think Jalen Smith and obviously LVE, their secondary is a lot better, and they locked up DeMarcus Lawrence. I think they're the most complete team in this division. Carson Wentz's health worries me.
I agree with that one.
NFC South, I got to go with the Saints just because I think they're the best team in the division. I don't think there's any question about it. Now, the Falcons may give them a run for the money because the Falcons were really beat up last year, but I still like Breeze over Matt Ryan any day when it comes to a big game. So I would take the Saints there. NFC North, that's a tough one because I think the Bears are taking a step back this year. I would say the Vikings, but I hate Kirk Cousins in a big spot. God, that division's really tough. Is Josh still in here?
Yes, he is.
Man, I tell you, God, the Packers could do it, man. I think the Packers are going to win the NFC North. I love you, Josh. I think the Packers are going to win the NFC North. And NFC West, I think the Niners are a big sleeper, but I got to go with the Rams. I think the Rams are the best. So in the NFC, Rams, Packers, Cowboys, Saints.
I agree with that totally and wholeheartedly. Minus, I actually think the Rams are going to take a step back this year because I don't think Gurley is the same guy coming off the knee injury, and it still doesn't sound like it's recovered. So I'm actually going to go Seattle. Even though I really want to go with the 49ers, I just don't trust Garoppolo to stay
right. Yeah. He says, Josh says, Cheeseheads, I need a beer now. You going to get a Blue Moon, buddy? He hates Blue Moon. You know what? There's I got to have one of them on the. I got to have you and Sean on this channel one of these nights so I can do this to you guys because I think this would be fun. By the sports review on this show.
You know what? I say, I mean, hey, if they can do it, I mean, are you doing another episode next week, Baddog? I'm assuming?
Yeah.
I say, why not do it next week and have
Josh works on Friday. That's
darn.
Yeah, so I'd have to make it a special night for Josh. I don't know what Josh's days off are. I'd have to talk to them, but I know right now he's at work because I know he always swings in. He always says it helps him get through the night. So in the AFC, Patriots, AFC East, I don't think there's anybody that even competes with them. AFC North, I'm going to go with the Browns. Obviously, all that talent. My man Baker Mayfield, who I'm picking to win the MVP. Nick Chubb, who was awesome. They added Odell Beckham. They have Jarvis Landry. They have David Njoku. They have Myles Garrett. They have a great defense, and they have a lot of young talent. They should win that division. I don't think that division is very good. AFC West, even though I'm going to take the Chargers, man. You know, the Chiefs lost Kareem Hunt. They're going to lose Tyreek Hill. And I think the Chargers just are really good. They just can never get over that hump. But you know what? I'm going to take the Chargers to win the AFC West. And in the AFC South, I got the Colts. I think the Colts are going to win the division. I think the Colts are I love the Texans, but they can never stay healthy. And Bill O'Brien's not a good head coach. So I really like the Chargers.
Oh, I'm going to disagree.
The Colts.
Bill O'Brien is a very good coach.
You think so?
I think so. I think he's just a matter of bad luck. I just don't disagree with his decision making. And you know what? He brought Penn State back from the brink. And that's why I'll never, ever. For a guy to take that head coaching job and do the job he did before going to the NFL with a bad roster and still actually being relatively competitive, I got to give it to Bill O'Brien's a lot lesser of a lot better of a coach than people give him credit for.
Okay. The reason I say it was bad coach is because we whipped their ass, and I was surprised. I actually thought the Texans would blow us out last year. So I got the Patriots, the Browns, the Chargers, and the Colts. Those are my AFC picks to win the division.
All right, and I'm pretty much lock stop. I mean AFC East until somebody else proves something. Obviously, you got to give it to the Patriots.
Jimmo.
And then obviously the South, I'm going with the Colts. We all know this. Sorry, UCF. Then North, I'm going to differ from you. I'm actually going to go with the Steelers. I'm going to go with Steelers, and the only reason I'm going with Steelers is because I think the Browns, that chemistry is not going to come together. And you talked about chemistry, and I truly believe, something about it just doesn't seem right to me. I could be wrong. And I just think Freddie Kitchens could lose that team.
No, that makes sense. It's a good point. It's a good point.
And then, obviously, last but not least, I'm going to agree with Chargers as well. I think everybody takes step backs, and I think the Raiders are just going to be a dysfunctional mess.
Yeah. That should be very interesting. And I think the Raiders are on Hard Knocks, even though they're my sleeper pick in the AFC, but they are on Hard Knocks, so it's probably going to screw them up.
Dude, I cannot wait. Mike Mayock and John Gruden on Hard Knocks. It doesn't get any better with Antonio Brown.
It should be interesting for sure. So we are going to wrap it up, guys. Again, I want to thank everybody for being here for the first edition of the Doghouse. Again, if you have not done so, please go into the description. Click on the link to this man's channel. It's One Giant Rebuttal. Sub him up and check out his content. He has great content over there. I really appreciate you coming on here. I appreciate you being my first guest. I look forward to working with you more in the future for sure, and have a great time with Rich, the sports reaction when you guys stream that game. Any last words you want to say before we head out?
I mean, thank you for bringing me on. You didn't have to. And to be your first inaugural guest, I mean, does it really get any better than that?
Yeah, it's easy to get better than that. It's not that big of a deal.
And obviously, Rich, I'm, looking forward to working with you tomorrow. I can't wait. And, yeah, I mean, thank you for everybody showing up, asking questions. You guys were very nice.
All righty. Awesome. So again, guys, thank you so much for joining. For One Giant Rebuttal and myself, we are out of here. Peace!